there is loss of business, but probably if you are going for a better strategy, then at some point you lose something, to earn something in the long run. Because we're looking at cotton, which was being exported in a semi-raw material, which was where we're earning only 27 point something million US dollar in a semi-raw material. Why are we exporting it in semi-raw material? For the reason that we don't have, it's not being utilized here. You understand that? And for those the key players into it, in the manufacturing process of it, they feel that the textiles are really, expatriating, taking out for second-hand clothes, like it should remain within, so that the semi-raw cotton that we're exporting should really get here, get to value addition, and then really, Ugandans again, buy the finished products of their clothes. But the question still comes, how much can they really sustain the market? 46 million people, and then 90 something or 70, 90 to, and above something are putting on second-hand clothes. Aren't we about to see people go naked? Aren't we about to see people that would really afford one shirt a whole year? Anyway, how much are textiles made from Uganda? What are their costs?
Actually, that's the issue. I mean, the cost of production of Ugandan clothes is actually limiting majority of the traders to put them in their shops.
Exactly, put them in shops. And business for anybody to start.
Clothes.
Somebody starts with 50,000 and then he goes to a window and then buys shirts of 1,000. He's having already 50,000. And if he's take them to Namwongo or upcountry, then he's selling them at 5,000 each shirt. And it's benefiting. So it has been the quickest way to start business. And that's why as we go out some other times, you ask somebody, what are you doing? I'm a nationalist and a patriotist of this country, Pan-African. I really believe in, owning our own.
Exactly.
Boo-boo, talk about it, local content. I really, appreciate it. But again, I would not want to appreciate on the expense of Ugandans, on their livelihood. I understand that. It is true, 2016, the East African member countries agreed to kick out the second-hand clothes. But how did they prepare? And Britain and European countries are the ones that really donate these clothes and all that. So at some point, much as we enjoy these clothes, it's a dumping.
It's a dumping area.
Exactly. But anyway, if it is doing us a good service, then it is. Now, we are
and they dump them at a price because we pay some money.
Exactly. So this was the East African, policy. From 2016, it was a policy. So and they put a time frame that by 2019, the second-hand clothes within the East Africa should be off. Rwanda tried it. It was given. Its blow, and then Uganda to now the president saying 2023 is cutting it off. After being cut off from World Bank. I think it's thinking right, but again, the timing is my problem.
The timing is the issue.
The timing is my problem. So I remember he was in Mbale of recent when he was opening up some industrial park, textile industrial park.
Yes.
And I think the manufacturers complained. The manufacturers platform is so big, very big and very strong. You see these Babram runners also, there. Yes, I love their zeal when they protect Ugandan products and all that. But do they really look enough into the market that they can really sustain? Yes, and those Mbale textile industries and then elsewhere combined that can sustain the demand. Is it true that they can really? So we are yet to see of our tragedy ahead. However, as a country, we should not allow a penny go out of this country.
Okay.
That's why I was also talking about the number plate.
The number plate.
If you're really saying that now second-hand clothes should not come in to avoid a penny
moving out of the country,
then you're bringing a Russian company
to come and
take millions of money, saying a number plate is $730. That's $200 US, and is taking it to Russia Understand that? And then comes in to check the integrity of the company. So it does not exist. Now that means you are blocking this against somebody is taking out the money. So if we are to play economic issues that are to protect us, now it should be holistic. They should be balanced. They should not be discriminated. Now you have the money. But again, on the other side, the poor man who has been surviving on second-hand clothes, you are denying him this chance. And understanding that. So therefore, second-hand clothes, the answers ahead of time are drastic.
Let me ask, what do you think are the factors that limit the the local manufacturers?
Existence as you as a producer. Exactly. First of all, look at our electricity. It's too expensive. Very, very, very. You're not going to be going to manufacturing at whatever level, domestic and all that. Leave alone those industries in the park. There are those that have cottage industries. There are those doing it in the backyard. I understand that.
Yes.
They're also producers. That's they're also manufacturers at their own level, and they're employing people. But I'm against that kind of contract that really does not give a Ugandan a leverage probably to perform so well in his economy and save the money. Besides that, when it comes to because now today we've got the electronic stamp.
Electronics, yes,
exactly.
Yes.
Like which is on every kind of let me say if it's juice, then it has an electric stamp, and the system will always show that you produced 10,000 bottles of juice today and all that, and it will really reflect. So at the end of the day, how much can the textile industry of Uganda sustain the market of 46 million people? Haven't they hurried? Haven't the manufacturers of Uganda lied the president and the entire country that here we have the capacity, we shall produce clothes that we know in that lump sum, then that we have the capacity to produce clothes that are affordable to a Ugandan. I understand that.
Exactly.
And then when we look at the per capita of a Ugandan, which is around this ourselves, I understand that that each one by estimate, assumption, assumptive methods that this Ugandan is having this kind of money, which is not true. Now a Ugandan with a per capita income of around 800, and then a whole year, understand that, with other issues of his life, health, education, and all that, is that the producer of Uganda is going to produce a shirt of 2,000 Ugandan shillings. Will that happen?
Of course, it's going to be hard.
I don't know. Maybe the manufacturers will tell us. Maybe they can. Because for us, we are waiting for that. Time come that Ugandans walk naked, we shall raise an alarm. As leaders, as CAFO, we shall raise an alarm. Because if Ugandans still, Ugandans who cannot afford clothes, we as CAFO at some point, we've gathered clothes and from the business community, taken them to those vulnerable communities.
Okay.
And you really see people, really...
The second-hand clothes.
Second-hand clothes from our Ugandans. That here you are at Barichi Andrew, you have a suit that you don't want, you donate it to us. You find we go to lecturers in like Nyalo, who are really very poor. Very close in Kisenya, there are people who are living in one room, a very small room, not ventilated, for 50 people. They pay rent every day, 500 shillings. Now tell that one to buy a trouser of 50,000. So now, for us as CAFO, we are looking at how much are the textile manufactured in Uganda.
Okay.
I understand that. However, if they are to probably mitigate this, let them advocate for manufacturers come in this country as many as possible.
We have more.
You see, it has also an advantage.
Yeah.
You understand that? Because the money we lose in the second-hand clothes are millions and millions of dollars.
Okay.
But if they can mitigate, I understand that really we have very many manufacturers come into the space. I understand that, and then you see the advantage of employment You know, I understand that.
I see that.
Wow, it's going to be big, really, if they meet this demand. Looking at that, the farmers of cotton are going to be happy. That's very true.
Yeah.
Are you looking at that? Then we are likely to protect our monies and then probably have massive development in that area. Because right now, you see now whereby they've said that coffee will not be exported out of this country. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. You know, it should start with us. We should be the consumer of our own. You see, we have a problem whereby like the whites came in here and they saw that coffee had very many advantages. And then they gave you drink tea, amajan. So you started drinking tea, as it was failing out the coffee. It is so funny that tea was never enforced during the British colonial rule here. They would enforce coffee. They would come ask you, do you have food crop? Do you have cash crop? And the cash crop they wanted was always coffee and cotton. Tea, no. Because this is what was of their importance right now.
The coffee.
And now the coffee, if you're going to say we are not exporting our coffee, let us start consuming our coffee. Like Ethiopia. Ethiopia consumes its coffee 98%. Consuming our own coffee 20%. Okay. And you would assume other people will consume it.
Will consume it.
And then like you take the 80 something or the 90% of your coffee in a raw form and then it is brought back with a small kind of content into what they brought back. They bring residues. And then Ugandans are so funny. They would so much buy this other imported kind of ingredients of coffee, the residues. And then they feel of prestige.
My coffee comes from, Italy.
Italy and all that.
Yeah.
You are drinking residues, my friend. So therefore, let us start consuming our commodities,
our
home content and all that. Buy Uganda, build Uganda, which is okay. Textile industries. Do we have enough players into this to sustain the market? Will they produce in the affordable capacity? Will they produce in the line of our purchasing power? Or now we are going to only see people put on suits from high ends? Because we have seen suits sneaking from Owino coming into parliament. Those MPs have their own guys that bring good
that
suits.
Go down in
exactly there. A little bit. Understand that?
Interesting.
Of $20, $30. He cannot walk into these high-end shops and then afford a suit of $800 or of $1,000. So this whole thing was touching them. They've not let them assume they are likely to have only 2 suits in their whatever. The whole soon when we are only putting on simple bitenji, maybe. Because clothes are going to be very expensive. That to see you in a suit, it's going to be prestigious. A suit from Uganda, manufacturing is likely to be very expensive.
Okay.
Exactly. However, the textile industry should expand. Okay, it's fine. You see, because look at the presidential initiative of skilling the girl child, the boy child. They are skilling them in textile and design, which is okay. I understand that, and that's why I was advising the Ugandans. Now, the degree showbiz, from universities, it's not working now.
It's not working.
Vocation is the way to go.
Vocational.
Skill.
Interesting. And surprisingly, that's what they do in their nations.
Exactly.
They emphasize vocational more than we who emphasize theoretical education as a result. Well, it's exactly 26 minutes past 9. Of course, we're still here discussing the matter of banning of second-hand clothes to be imported in Uganda. I'm with Kwebi Hamzamel, he's the spokesperson of CAFU, as we are breaking down this matters. Well, before we get into the break, I would still love to remind you that the markets on the Zambu platform are already on, and kindly participate by dialing *292#, which is the USSD code in there for you, which will avail you with options where you'll be in position to actually buy bonds and securities for a fee of just 15,000 Ugandan shillings. Now the markets open at exactly 8:15 a.m. and they're going to be running up to 3:15. Paid by bonds and securities, regardless of whether you have a smartphone or a button phone, and regardless whether you're in the northeast, southwest, you can participate as long as you dial *292#. That's simply the linking code for you to buy the market bonds and securities that is on Zabu, and that's why Zabu comes out and says boldly, "My money, my future." And Altex East Africa tells you, you gotta do something new for yourself. It is 2023. Let's change the way we do things. Well, now we'll take a short break, and when we return, I'm still with Kwebi Hamza.
Smart 24, driving business.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Fun battery phone.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Kabode Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Kabode deal and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Kabode Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
Say goodbye to paperwork and travel costs. Now every MTN customer can register to invest in securities anytime and anywhere with Zabu in a few simple steps. Step 1. Dial *292#. Step 2. Select option 1. Register with Zabu. Step 3. Enter your full names. Step 4. Enter your national identification number. Step 5. Enter your national identification card number. In 24 hours, you will receive an SMS confirming your registration. Congratulations, you are now ready to invest.
In a world where trade drives economic growth and development, Africa is now embracing a new era of intracontinental trade through the African Continental Free Trade Area to unleash its immense potential. Witness the spirit of entrepreneurship as African businesses forge a way into partnership and venture beyond their borders in a single African market. Discover the innovative solutions being initiated and created to address challenges and seize opportunities in sustainable agriculture, renewable energy, and technological advancements. We expand our lens to showcase the efforts and success of economic integration across the entire African continent, from West Africa to East Africa, North Africa to Southern Africa, Central Africa, and even diaspora, as the tapestry of unity grows stronger with each story we tell. African perspective, driving business and trade across Africa. Don't miss the African Perspective on Smart 24 every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at exactly 6 p.m. East African Standard Time as we drive business and trade across Africa. Download the Smart Digital app on Play Store and enjoy your favorite TV shows, documentaries, and radio in your palm on the go.
Smart 24, driving business.
The break, and of course we're heading into the last 30 minutes of the show, 29 minutes to the top of the hour, which implies 9:31. And of course I'm still with Kwebi Hamzamel, the spokesperson of CAFO, as we are breaking down these matters to do with of course a ban of second-hand clothes to be imported in the country, Uganda. But of course, before we proceed, still on that note, it's still to remind you that the markets on the ZAB are already on. Kindly participate by dialing *292#, which is simply the USSD code. And here you'll be in position to actually buy government bonds and securities for a fee of just 15,000 Ugandan shillings. Now the markets opened at exactly 8:15 and they'll be running all the way to 3:15 p.m. That is East African time, and this is effective Monday up to Friday, apart from the weekends and the public holidays when these markets cannot be accessed. But of course, despite that, you have the rest of the days to capitalize and make money, and something which I believe it's quite key and instrumental when it comes to financial growth and development. Zabo made this a reality, and that's why it says, "My money, my future." And the old East Africa tells you, well, you got to do something new for yourself. Remember, it is 2023. Now, Mr. Kwebi Hamzamel, as we're still breaking down these matters, there is something here. Now, I think this really explains to us the role of the East African being united as one. Like, if such a thing happens, I would be expecting that we could be having more relations in terms of exchanging commodities, clothes, textile being one of them. We're able to get clothes from Tanzania, from Kenya, from Rwanda. But why is it not possible in such a scenario? Because in my own opinion, I think it's going to be harder for people to adapt to the locally manufactured textile. Because at least in Kenya, Tanzania, okay, Kenya lately, taxes are also a big issue since Ruto came in power. But now we can take a look at Tanzania, you know, we can take a look at Rwanda, Burundi, and now, of course, there is a proposal of Somalia joining them.
Well, it's a good feeling to have a very wide market.
Yeah.
Because like population means development. You know, this is one of the factors. And that's why everybody before was interested in, you know, going to China. And big manufacturers ran to China. There was like big, you know, population, and the labor was, you know, cheap labor, big market, blah, blah, until you see China is developing so fast. Because like from the exports of China, China earns 420 billion US$ every year from exports.
Exporting
420 billion.
Textile?
No, as in like
a whole export.
420
oh my
billion
God, that's a lot of money.
$US$ from exports. So yes, in the East African community, you see, there is a feeling that we are in the East African community.
It's just it's a feeling.
It's a feeling. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling at the end of the day. Yeah. But we cannot. At the same time, we are segmented. Uganda is Uganda.
Exactly.
And the president of Uganda, I understand that. That means the monies of Ugandans is just going within the East African community. There is a feel that we're in the East African community, when actually other countries, you need to have a work permit.
To be in there.
I understand that. Sure. Then are we in the East African community?